you need to be serious. You can't achieve something seriously impactful if you're joking around and if you're losing your focus all the time and if nothing is important in a way to you. So that means to continuously integrating an internal dialogue into your practices.
With over 1 billion views, Master Shi Heng Yi has inspired change all around the world. And he today talks about how that has impacted him. The teachings are not only being used for Shaolin and Kung Fu, they're also being used for different sports and professional athletes, weightlifters, and so many of you guys are using those videos. And today, Master Shi Heng Yi talks about that and how he feels that people should be applying his message. Today's video was made possible at mulliganbrothers.com. The link is in the description. Use code 2024 at checkout for buy one, get one free across the whole website right now. And that includes the Memento Mori posters, the posters that remind you you're going to die, and the Not a Journal Success Journals, all buy one, get one free, mix and match, including the t-shirts where all the profits go back into creating these documentaries. But before that, let's dive into Master Shi Heng Yi.
It was incredible, actually, the response we had with the martial arts and the talks that you'd done on the body and controlling the body. How many people used those clips as inspiration to lift weights, to go running, to gardening, to swimming. It was absolutely fascinating to see how many people associated with the disciplines of the martial arts. Can you shed a little bit more light how people can apply it to, specifically one of the biggest ones was weightlifting. We had a huge amount of weightlifters using those sounds to feel inspired and to use them sort of as guidance for their own training.
One sentence I also mentioned in many previous videos was, it's not important what you do. It's not important if it is swimming, if it is weightlifting, if it is yoga, if it is dancing, if it is playing football, or if it is Kung Fu or martial arts. The only reason why I always come back using examples coming from the field of martial arts is because I'm a martial artist. But I am a martial artist. This is like on the outside what my daily life, let's say, is built upon. But I'm a martial artist, but inside of me is the search for answers. And meaning that my content, what is driving me on, is always the search for discovering new possibilities, discovering new limits also. This is like maybe the most appropriate way. I am happy if I discover limits. This can be physical limits, it can be limits in terms of strength, it can be limits in terms of your level of stamina, it can be limits in terms of the amount of your flexibility. Because always when I hit them, I know this is my next project. This is the next area in my life right now, which is directly being mirrored in front of my eyes. This is your limitation. You have not went beyond that yet. And so on the one side, this is motivating to me, but on the other side, it also just cultivates this constant drive, this constant fire. And why do I think fire is as important as water is? Just to say it right away. But it is that fire that nourishes us to do things. Fire is the active part about us. And when somebody's asking me, how was it possible to build up all of these things? How come nowadays there's so much available about all these things? Well, then certainly laziness is not in there. You know, and why sometimes I look so serious when I do my training? Why are you always so serious? Because when in the field of martial arts you want to achieve something serious, you need to be serious. You can't achieve something seriously impactful if you're joking around and if you're losing your focus all the time and if nothing is important in a way to you, you know? So that means setting priorities, knowing when is the time to invest the energy, when it is the time to release energy, when is it good now to recover, when are you really feeling this is now starting to be the limit. These are all very, very fine aspects that only you know. Only you know about yourself. When you lift the weights, only you know. People outside watching, they don't know. If you're going through a struggle, if you're just warming up, they don't know. So that means to continuously integrating an internal dialogue into your practices. An internal dialogue once you're swimming, an internal dialogue when you are lifting weights, an internal dialogue when I practice my Kung Fu. It doesn't mean I'm talking to myself, but it means the awareness is with myself. I can feel the changes throughout the practice that are happening inside of my body. I can feel if something is blocked. I can feel if there is potential to release some energy somewhere and invest it somewhere else. This is like this whole idea of an internal practice, a quiet practice. And so it is the how, in which mindset are you doing the things that you are doing. I think this is what matters. And at the end, it is insight. You gain more insight into yourself. What is the result? More performance. More being able to tickle the potential out that is, let's say, sleeping inside of you. But you need to realize what is sleeping. And this is the whole point. It's getting more and more digital, everything. The fact is, you wake up in the morning. I would easily say many people, first thing they do is directly look either on the phone or whatever. It's a common thing. It's not about good or bad, it's about consequence. And if the morning is already starting with your awareness being drawn out to something which is pretty irrelevant on the long term, then of course the way of how you're living your life is also gonna display upon that. And this is where it comes to the fact of it doesn't matter what type of practice you're doing. It is the way that whatever it is, be aware of what's going on the inside. Use these outside movements in order to get inside. Use all of this because of the repetition, because of the consistency that it is happening every day. This is why it's possible for you to watch deep. If circumstances are changing every day too quickly, it's difficult to find something stable about it. This is why repetition. Yeah, it's like in the simple way of the process of learning. When I show you how a specific movement is done, number one is I show you. You are watching me and I show you how it's done. So you are starting to copy me. Also having first of all this dialogue inside of you. Okay, so now he's moving the left foot, so I also move my left. Okay, now yes, now it's the right. Then the left hand goes back, the right hand is in the front. Now left hand goes to the right shoulder. There is this dialogue. Yeah, so you're already starting to actually rewire yourself in order to be able to copy me. But as long as your eyes are watching towards me, so as long as you are taking an outside example and trying to mirror it with yourself, it still means your awareness is not 100% yet with yourself, because you always have to take my movements into consideration. But once you repeat this and practice this, one day I can disappear. You're just by yourself in front of the mirror, and then you already know the movements. So the capacity of your mind to think about, okay, what needs to be done, what is the next step, it slowly starts to disappear. So the capacity of thinking about what to do disappears. And what replaces the thinking now? Maybe you would call it muscle memory. This is one way how to express it. And in Asia or in the martial arts, sometimes we say, well, meanwhile, the movement has went into flesh and blood. It has become part of your being. Now, once the movement, the technique is part of your being and the mind meaning is now free, now you can use that mind in order to penetrate actually into what are you doing and start now. Now the way starts. Until then, it was just the initiation, let's call it like this. I initiated that movement to you. First you need to learn it, and now comes the time what is about you. Not about what other people expect from you. Now you have it. Now it's up to you to cultivate it. Yes? And that one gives insight, because now the mind is free to discover many, many things that go on inside of there. And now it's not just about the martial art movement. This principle of you think a lot about what needs to be done, then it is being replaced and the mind is free. This now we apply to the life itself. This is the reason why waking up and thinking too much about what to do today, you don't even reach the state of being able to immerse into your daily life, because you're still in figuring out 24 hours a day what to do. You're still thinking about your life. Yeah, but thinking is something different than experiencing, than sensing, than feeling life itself. This is why all these methods, stop thinking, meditate, discipline your thoughts. Stop thinking too much. Don't go into the past. Don't go into the future. Be in the present. Why? Because only then it's possible that the mind is free, the capacity is free, and now you can completely immerse into whatever you are doing. And this means you have arrived. You have arrived. That's it.
Thank you so much to Master Shi Heng Yi for doing all of these videos. We get a lot of support on the projects we do with Master Shi Heng Yi. We fly our full film crew out to Germany. We take all our equipment and all our red cameras, the cinema stuff. We take cinematographers, my sisters, my brothers, the editors, the whole editing team back here. It takes a full production company and crew to get this done, and it's only made possible by you guys. And we want to say thank you to everybody who supported, everybody who's hit the subscribe button and notification bell. It's all helped, and more importantly, anyone who's bought anything at mulliganbrothers.com. It's how we fund this whole project. It's very, very expensive, very time consuming to make these documentaries and make these videos, and everyone who supports us, all the profits go back into creating this. That's how we do it. There is a sale on right now for the end of year. Use code 2024 at checkout at mulliganbrothers.com, where you can get the Momentum Warrior posters that remind you you're gonna die. That's my life plotted out. I fill this in every single week. It's a very humbling experience. It absolutely changed my life. And then the Not a Journal Success Journal, the journal that you reaffirm your goals, your weekly, monthly, daily goals, yearly goals every single day, and then you write it down, you break it down into a task list. It actually got us this studio. It's what made everything work for us. It's an unbelievable product, and I know you guys are loving it as well, so thank you so much to everybody. Use code 2024 at checkout for buy one get one free across everything. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed and productive day, and if you want to find out more from Master Shi Heng Yi, head over to shaolin.online. Link is in the bio. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.